will tell you that Greg McKendry, we loved Greg McKendry.
Pastor Chris Bice, his entire congregation grieving the loss of the first church member to try to stop a man carrying a gun, and paid with his life.
The type of weapon used was a shotgun, 12-gauge shotgun,
with which the man opened fire in the sanctuary of Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist in the middle of a children's play.
At least 9 people were injured during the course of this incident.
A lot of people, of course, just hit the dirt behind the pews.
2 have been treated, and I'm told have been released. The others remain in varying stages of serious to critical condition.
When Knoxville police got there 3 minutes after the 911 calls,
the suspect in the shooting had been subdued by other individuals in the sanctuary. Our officers took him into custody.
Not a member of the congregation as far as any of us know.
Church member Steve Drevick describes the man he saw in custody as white, about 40, with shoulder-length hair and blue jeans. Police haven't revealed his name yet. As to motive,
he is currently in the process of being interviewed,
as have been at least 24 witnesses, some of whom may have caught part of the crime on camera, videotaping their children's play.
And that's part of what we're reviewing to see exactly what it does show.
Beyond the crime investigation, there's counseling. Grade schoolers and high schoolers were there through it all.
We would ask folks to pray for this congregation and the families involved.
For Pastor Chris Bice, Greg McKendry's loss is a death in the family.
Please pray for this congregation because we are grieving the loss of a wonderful man.
I was telling him about my daughter graduating from Bible college, and I was a Christian and stuff, and he just automatically almost turned angry.
As Knoxville police and a bomb squad searched the home of 58-year-old Jim David Adkisson, neighbors reflect on the man they've known for the more than 4 years they say he's lived at his Levy Drive home. For Karen Massey, his arrest surprised her, kind of.
I'm really shocked, but at the same time, knowing now what has happened, he and I did have some pretty extensive discussions, biblical discussions.
Those discussions led her to believe Adkisson did not believe in the Bible's teachings.
So he apparently had a problem with what the Bible said and the contradictions he felt was contradictions, which I don't personally believe because I'm a Christian.
Massey says Adkisson has had those feelings running back to childhood.
He was angry with his parents because they had made him go to church all of his life.
As neighbors watch bomb squad members go through Adkisson's home, they wonder what they'll find because they typically saw him as a loner.
Because he never went anywhere. He never had anybody over. Just, it was really quiet. He rode a motorcycle, and, you know, he would go out on the weekends on his motorcycle, but other than that, you never heard from him.
He's kind of quiet and stayed to himself, didn't have a lot of company.
Concerned citizens stood outside the Westside Unitarian Universalist Church in Farragut Sunday night after a special vigil to remember those lost in the deadly church shooting. A sheriff's car parked outside and the parking lot overflowing with cars.
A lot of sharing, a lot of caring, a lot of reaching out, especially to the people who were in the service this morning.
Steve Kopp says those in the church this morning are doing as well as can be expected. He felt compelled to go after feeling his community's hit by a tragic event. He's hurting like the people inside the church this morning.
Very sad, a lot of grieving going on, a lot of pain, fear that the children in the church are not going to feel secure now.
In the vigil, psychiatrists and psychologists talked about how they could reach out and help the children who witnessed the tragic event. There's one in particular they're worried about.
One of the young ladies that was up there singing is one of the people that passed away. And that's going to be a memory that's just, that girl's going to carry the rest of her life.
Dolores' daughter married in the Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church where gunfire erupted. Now she's grasping for a reason why someone would commit such a horrendous crime.
May have been someone who really, maybe he flipped out. Maybe there was something that happened in his life and he just lost it for a period of time and took it out on this particular group.
Now the suspect's in custody and police are searching for clues to determine a motive.